Test. So quiet.
All right, the clock has struck 6, so you can start late, but not early. I'm going to go ahead and call to order the Public Safety Committee meeting for August the 3rd. All committee members are present, including myself, Mr. Allgood, and Mr. Kraling, as well as our city officers and department heads. What do we have on reading of the minutes from June the 1st?
Motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
Any corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes from June the 1st, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Skip public comment. I don't think we have any public comment, so we'll just move on accordingly. Reports from our city officers. Chief Miller's up first.
Ms. King, Kraling, Mr. Allgood, good evening. We have a National Night Out, which is tomorrow night. We're, depending on the weather, we'll have a determination before 1 or 2 o'clock. It depending on, because it's supposed to be raining, but you know how the weather is around here. So if we do have to continue it, it'll be in October when they have the second National Night Out. But we're probably going to truck right along with it. Luckily, the bridge is open. The teachers start back tomorrow, and then next week the students start back. So it's going to be chaos for a while with the bridge open. So I can only imagine what it would have been like without it. So we're going to have the traffic team and the patrol officers out there doing checks during the morning for the school zones during that time. And that's all I've got. Any questions?
No questions? Thank you for the update. Chief McCone.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, good evening. Just give you a quick update, which our budgets, we just started in, January or July, so we're in good stands on that, which most of y'all probably already know also that Butler Road Bridge is back open. I know I reported on it in June, so it's back open. So that's the only thing I had to report at this time. I'll be back.
All right, you'll be back up. We'll save our questions for a little bit. Judge Durade.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of committee. Not too much to report financially this month since we are still in the early part of the new fiscal year. Our transition to the new case management system continues to get easier as we become more familiar with the features and capabilities. We recently generated our first batch of juror notices, and later this month we'll be doing our upload for the set-off debt notices for the municipal association. With the recent close of the fiscal year, we also submitted our annual judicial survey to court administration, which included our required case volume and staffing information to them. And also our full-time and part-time judges have all completed their required continuing legal education credits, and we're all in compliance with the South Carolina bar requirements. The only other small update was just to inform you that due to a conflict with our prosecutor that he had with our September jury trial week, we had to move it. So that jury trial week will now be the first week of October. We didn't have any issues with trial judges, so all is set for that week. That's it.
All right. Excellent. Any questions? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have no unfinished business, so we will move to new business, which is a discussion on the fire engine replacement.
Back again. But this is more of a discussion. I know the way it was wrote up was more of requesting to go to full council and all that, but this is more of a discussion because we need to pull more information in because there may be some asks or from our capital expenditures, some savings in there that we may be able to pull from. So I want to get a better hard number. So this is just a discussion, replace engine 47. That's the one that was damaged or total loss in the wreck on 385. So I don't know if you got anything else you want to add, Seth, or?
So, as Chief said, this was originally came to us, with a motion, with a quote, but, staff has since decided to hold this out and, do a little bit more research and make sure that we have all the information
Well,
needed.
numbers, you know.
Yep, before we move forward. So,
Yeah, it's just, like I said, just discussion, just letting y'all be aware of what's going on.
yeah, and I guess as everybody knows, it takes a while to get these trucks. So once we make this decision, I mean, it could be 2+ years, right?
Yes.
Before this
Or
truck comes in.
longer, depending on, I know in discussion I've had with the manufacturer, is there certain things we can do to try to speed that up when we choose to get to that point, so.
All right, so just keep that in mind. It's a long process. Yes, sir, Mr. Allgood?
Since the engine's been out of commission, how have you changed the way you're doing things
We've
without?
got reserve, which I'm glad we do have reserves, so we just put them in a reserve, one of our older engines.
And obviously we purchased some a couple years ago. Would we look at the same manufacturer?
At this time, yes, because we've already got the spec sheet for that engine. We've already got the spec sheet. It'd be a whole lot easier. This is what we got to replace that identical engine. You don't have, that's a cost savings that we can utilize going that way.
Perfect. Okay. That's all I have.
Just the prices quoted, I know we were still going back and forth. This is less than we paid for the last one, isn't it?
More.
Is it more?
637,000 what we paid per engine.
No,
Now it,
But the last one we just bought, the most recent one was six.
The latter.
The latter one.
that was
like
1.3 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
that's a different, that's no.
different spec.
Yes.
That's
yes.
why I was like, okay,
Mhm.
it's
The latter,
coming,
the other.
Yeah.
coming more reasonable.
Yeah.
Still not reasonable.
Well, this is the replacement value, right? That you got the 565?
That's what the insurance company gave us. That's not replacement value.
Correct.
what
That's
they-
what I'm saying.
Yes. Mhm.
Depreciation's not our friend.
Yep.
Right. Right.
And the cost of what it costs now. We paid, like I said, when we purchased these vehicles, that engine was 637,000. Now it's over $1 million.
So Chief, remind me about so there's a rescue truck in the current capital, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm sure that's going to all play out.
Yes, ma'am.
With the replacement of this engine.
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
That all play a part. That's
Okay.
why.
All right. Any other questions?
I have nothing.
All right. Look forward to your next report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment? Seeing none, hearing none. Committee concerns? No concerns. What do we have on adjournment?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion stands. We stand adjourned at 6:07. Beat that, Mr.
Colony PD to order at 6:07 PM on Monday, August 3rd. Everybody's here. First public comment. Is there anybody who would like to speak? Hearing none, we're going to move on to the reading and approval of minutes. What do I hear?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the minutes are adopted as presented. Reports, communications from city officer, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a quick update. One, we had our last concert of the 26 concert season, which was fantastic. Randemonium did a great job. Wonderful fireworks displays, which actually I think there was some new fireworks in there. So they were pretty impressive. And that was a good showing there. Tickets are on sale for Pippin, so we're excited about that. And we've got a great fall lineup of things going on at the Cultural Center. I hope everyone comes out for all those things. And that's my update.
I think that might have been the best fireworks display we've ever had, and
was awesome.
Randemonium killed it.
They did. Yeah.
Any questions, comments from Mr. Duncan? Mr. Saxton?
Well, good evening, committee. My wonderful boss has already taken all of my administrative notes. But I will add to that.
You can sit down.
I will add to that. The next show after Pippin will be our regular play, which is Our Town. And then we will also in September be going into our Suey Barbecue Festival, which is from the 11th and the 12th. And so those are my short and abbreviated notes.
Questions, comments? Thank you, sir. We have no unfinished business, which brings us to new business, Mauldin Art Trail. Mr. Saxton.
Good evening again. So normally every year we've been installing pieces of art along our public art trail. And the city of Mauldin continually desires to build on this art trail for the Culture Center grounds. The Mauldin Public Art Trail, which was established in 2014, is an initiative that was designed to beautify the community with public art displays created by South Carolina artists. The goal has always been to install non-public art sculptures over the 9 years. The new artwork will replace the oldest artwork after 10 years, resulting in a new slate of public artwork for every decade. Now, over the past few years, the process has been we've released an RFP. We tried to solicit artists from South Carolina to be one of the ones chosen to install and implement their new art piece. What we've seen over the last couple of years or last few years is that the same artists are the ones who are responding to our RSPs. And so we are having to do duplicates of our artists. And so one of our community folks, Ms. Melinda Hoffman, has submitted several times with an RFP to try to have her piece displayed in our public art trail, but has not been chosen. And so this year we've kind of done it a little bit different. Since it's our last piece, we've actually asked her if she would consider presenting and doing a rendering of a piece that also brings in the new Mauldin logo that we have as well. And so what she has created was a piece called The Gathering. And it is it's a striking abstract sculpture that celebrates the strength, the unity, and collective spirit of a community, crafted from weathered steel and stainless steel. And the piece features a gathering of abstract human figures standing together beneath and symbolically supporting a suspended star-like stainless steel form. This simplified silhouettes with their softened and organic edges represent not individual identities, but rather the shared character and resilience of an entire community. What we also asked her was we wanted a piece to be out there that was interactive, but also a piece that people could come and take pictures behind just as well. A piece that would be more of a photogenic piece because we really don't have any ones out there that symbolize that. And if you know about when we do the art, the Christmas lights, we have several pieces where people can stand behind and have a nice photo behind them as they take a picture. So she's kind of combined those two together, and that's the rendering that you have, and that's in front of you of what it possibly will look like if we was to move forward with having her get that going in the right direction. And of course, it would be revealed during our Blues and Jazz Festival of 2027.
Any questions?
Mr. Saxton, do we have any idea the size of the piece, as in the height, or are there any requirements?
So we do know that it's going to be a little bit bigger than some of the others because the way they are going to be spread out, we might have to do an extra slab to kind of put them kind of in the form that she wants. I don't particularly remember the actual height of them, but I can get that information. I don't quite remember.
Sounds like it's going to blend in with the other pieces as far as the size goes. It's just hard to
On the little small
prototype. Yes, sir.
Other
Mr.
question?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, sorry. I was going to say, so if you look at the image itself, there's a kind of a white semicircle.
Mhm.
That's supposed to represent the actual pads that are out there now. So as you see, it is intended to bleed over in several different areas to be larger than the pad itself. But as far as the height goes, I believe it was 6 to 8 feet was the height.
I was going to say 8, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, if eight feels like the highest it'll be. And then the star will actually be the 4 M's combined in a way that is actually split over a couple people. So it'll be kind of holding it. And folks will be able to sit in front of it, stand behind pieces, sit on certain pieces like the blue one that goes off on the right side there, and incorporate the new logo and the color scheme as well. and to make it an interactive display, as Mr. Saxon said.
Additional questions?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to forward a recommendation to full council to award artist Melinda Hoffman with her piece, A Gathering, to be chosen as our 2027 Public Trail art piece.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Is there additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and we'll forward that to full council. Brings us back to our second public comment period. Don't believe we have any committee concerns. That leaves us with one final piece of business.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it, and we are adjourned at 6:14. I tied you.
We did.
Moving right along, we're going to do the Finance and Policy Committee meeting as the third meeting. Members present are myself, Michael Reynolds, Mr. Taft Matney, as well as Mr. Kraling. This is the call to order. First item is public comment for items on the agenda. Seeing no unruly public, then move on to reading and approval of minutes. May 4th, 2026. What do I hear on those?
Submitted.
I have a motion to approve as submitted.
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, carries unanimous. Next item is going to be reports and communications from city officers. First up, Mr. Duncan.
No major updates. Just believe, though, we did get the press release this past week or so of the city earning its triple crown again for financial reporting. So very proud of the finance team for that. And I think that's all I have for now. So keep it short.
Okay, moving on.
Can't tell Seth has a cold.
Yeah. I feel like we're in multiverse or something. All right, next up is going to be Miss Abercrombie.
Good evening, committee. I don't have a whole lot to report, especially for this year because we just started. Now, last year, I am currently working on the memo to give you preliminary numbers, and they look pretty good. So I'm hoping that I can get that to Seth early tomorrow, and we'll have it to you by the end of the week with our preliminary last year numbers. And like I said, they look pretty good. Other than that, do I have anything else? No, later. That's all I have for right now.
Any questions for Miss Abercrombie? Very good. Thank you, Miss Abercrombie. Next up, Mr. Mark Putnam, our HR director. His busy season's about to start.
All right. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and committee members. We are excited to announce that in July we hired Stephanie Taylor, who is our new HR generalist. She comes to us from the city of Greer, and she's already making an impact, helping being heavily in our recruiting and also helping us to really enhance our new hire orientation program. So we want to make it where they're really excited on their first day to come here. So she's really making some strides there. Over the next several months to a year, she'll be looking at learning our benefits and everything that we do here in Mauldin. So we expect her to really be a great addition to our department. In May, we launched an engagement initiative where we have a birthday roundtable. And this is small groups to where we can sit with an informal setting and talk to employees and get their opinions on what we're doing well, what's maybe we could look to make some changes. And this afternoon, we sent out an email to all members of council of our July notes, just so you can see what we're talking about, what we're hearing from employees. And so far, I'm going to look over to Gregory. I believe it has been well received. We are, at one of their suggestions, going away from a roundtable breakfast that we did the first 3 months. We're going to a lunch. They feel like that it's hard for all of them to start work, have to end or stop at 9 and come back in. So we're going to do a lunch for them. This is our annual performance evaluation cycle, and we're underway with this, and we should have everything settled up around late September. And this is a great time for us to look at every employee's performance throughout the year, recognize where they've done well, try to, if they've not had some issues, how can we help them improve, set some goals, and support employee development. So we should be done with that at the end of September.
Mr. Putnam, thank you. You make human resources seem fun and exciting, and I can appreciate that, especially when you're in the market of recruiting and everybody knows how hard it is to hire good employees and even harder to keep them. So thank you for all of your efforts. Any questions for Mr. Putnam? Seeing none, thank you. Okay, moving on. We have no unfinished business. First item of new business is discussion on AI policy and social media comments. Mr. Duncan, I assume you'd like to kick this off.
Sure. Thank you, sir. So, as AI continues to expand in its use in everyday life, the importance of an AI policy becomes necessary as employees interact with new tools and technologies every day. Something that we had heard at the annual meeting was the need for an AI policy, and so I believe that's something that Mr. Saxon and Mr. Putnam are working on. But wanted to get any feedback from council with regards to potential AI policy and also social media comments policy as we look at as making some of these updates. One of the things that in Uptown, which was an article presented by the Municipal Association back in 2022, it provided some information regarding things that we should think about when it comes to any type of our use of social media, but then also how do we filter or how do we kind of curtail an environment of thoughtful expression without impeding anyone's ability to express themselves. And so we're trying to be mindful of that and sent out as part of the packet, a draft policy, which basically would look at, making sure that folks understand that, that certain activities on our social media accounts, which is a limited public forum, won't be tolerated, such as use of profanity and things like that. A lot of those things are already regulated or governed by these different social media platforms, but something that we would adopt internally is something that we're wanting to get any feedback based on where council thinks we need to be and what we need to be mindful of as we finalize this and bring this back to council. So that's kind of the overview of what it was. Not looking for any particular action, but just want to let you know, A, it's on our mind, and two, if there's anything that you would like us to look at while we're considering this, things that you've seen out there as best practices or ideas that we should consider, especially on the AI front, appreciate it and open all input and suggestions and ideas. So.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Let's split them into AI policy first, kind of kicking through some of Mr. Crayley. I suspect in your corporation, as large as it is, you probably have something already or some thoughts.
Yeah, without going into too much detail on it, we have a secured. I'm not sure actually how it's set up, but it's our secured system with AI, all ChatGPT, all the other. We can pick whatever tool we want. We can utilize it. We can create agents. There's a lot of really good stuff in learning there.
You would have a lot of proprietary stuff that you couldn't put.
It is not
right.
connected to our proprietary, and even there's some
Got it.
legal, like government, we can't. Actually, some of our materials that are export controlled. So there's that, and there's a firewall there. Yes, as we move forward, maybe in the future, I could probably hook someone from the city up with somebody from our group. Thinking somebody he's in Atlanta right now, if he's be willing. It might give us some suggestions on what they've learned not to do. To be honest, I think sometimes that's more important than what to do. Because there's so many things we don't know, but they know what not to do. They've been very slow rolling it out, but it's amazing what it will do. It isn't quite what everybody's telling us. To be honest, the future is going to look different. It's not going to be scary, I don't think. It's also not going to be. It's going to be different. Let's put it that way. I don't think the futurists have it quite right. What I'm seeing. That's my 2 cents. I'll talk to Steve this week and see if he'd be available for somebody here just to say, hey, let's talk, this is what we're doing, give us some ideas and some pointers.
Yeah, and I think from our thinking through whatever we drop in there is now out there.
Yeah.
So being mindful of that. Mr. Matney, any thoughts?
I'm a little hesitant to have the discussion right now at all. Only because while you've got a draft of a social media policy here, I don't really know what you're looking for or what avenue you want to go down in terms of AI and what your thoughts and feelings and what an AI policy could look like, who it's directed toward. So I'd almost like to see a similar framework or draft for us to look at before we even went down that road.
Okay.
Because I feel like right now we would just be trying to come up with words to discuss the subject that we don't really understand what the policy would look like.
You don't want a word salad here. All right. So let's do that. Let's get some direction, get some feedback when you get a little bit of a policy together. Let's get a chance to take a look at it and have some
With
back
that
and
being
forth.
said, I will say that everybody's never been written better. I think it's just much years because it'll come out very crisp, very clean, have all the latest buzzwords in it. So I think that is one place where it is used when you're doing your annual review and when you're reviewing somebody else. It makes life a lot true use. You still have to put the inputs in. It just wordsmiths it much better than I or many other people, especially engineers.
Well, I can tell you from experience, it's fairly annoying to work really hard on a delicate email and then drop it in there, and what it spits out is so much better. And really, what you were trying to say the entire time, I've had that happen
Or give you
several times.
something you hadn't thought about. That's a good point.
Okay, so we'll look forward to that as we move forward with that policy. And then second one, probably wise to split into Mr. Matney. I'm sure you'll have some comments on this as well as social media comments policy. We have that in your packet. Any thoughts, discussion? Love it, hate it.
My recommendation would be that we discuss them both when we have them
Okay.
together. We can do a side by side because while they're not the same thing, they're definitely related. And I'd hate for us to go down the road on one and not on the other. So maybe we.
That's fine. That's fine with me. I see them as different, but that's fine with me, Mr. Crowley. Okay. All right. Push it off till we have the other policy. We'll talk about both hand in hand and move forward. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. Okay. Next up is going to be resolution authorizing a lease purchase agreement for vehicles and equipment. This is also in your packet. This is a resolution for FY 2027 lease purchases. These were approved in the 2027 budget. Mr. Duncan, you want
Sure, happy
some
to.
background? and-
So tonight, council's being asked, or the committee's being asked to move forward to full council resolution for our special call meeting later this evening to authorize the FY 27 lease purchase, as was approved in the FY 26-27 budget. In June, council approved the budget, which included provisions for purchasing various equipment and vehicles for city departments. Total purchase price was not to exceed $2,963,000 for the following items: police vehicles, fleet maintenance truck, fire department staff truck, side loader sanitation truck, and Sunset Park field lights and fire department apparatus as well. So with that, our financial advisor, First Tryon, issued an RFP to seek qualified bids, which was due earlier in July. We received a ton of bids actually from several financial institutions. And the one that the recommendation by both the bond attorney, financial advisors, and staff is to select South State Bank as the most responsive bidder, which they actually offered the city an interest rate of 3.74% for all three tranches. Again, this was the idea that we were financing different aspects of the equipment purchases through longer periods of time, depending on their average length of service or expected life of service. And with that, South State came in very competitive compared to the others. And so that's our recommendation is, and we do anticipate a annual debt service and budgeted for of about 470,000. And with that, we're asking committee to approve the 27 lease purchase agreement and authorize all of that, those documents to be signed and award South State Bank as the lowest responsive bidder.
Mr. Chairman, move that we forward to full council with a recommendation of approval, resolution authorizing a lease purchase agreement, Series 2026, in the principal amount of not exceeding $3,005,000 relating to the financing of vehicles and equipment to be used for municipal purposes, authorizing the execution and delivery of various documents, including the lease agreement and other matters relating thereto. Would also like to include that we recommend to full council that South State Bank, as the lowest responsive bidder, be the financial institution that we use for the lease purchase agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Matney. Have a
Second.
motion to forward to full council with a recommendation of approval, all that he said. I have a second. Any other discussion on this? I think the only thing I would add is a couple of items within that that are big to me are prepayment for internal sources. There's no penalty with that. That's big. And then the interest rate being consistent for all three terms is actually pretty interesting. So it's a great packet and really good feedback. That was good to get that many back. So many times you get one or two.
Absolutely. No, it's great. And then also the other fun thing about it is they'll actually leave the money in a money market account and will earn 3.63% interest until we're ready to draw down the funds.
Perfect.
Which is really good.
Seems like a no-brainer. I have a motion and a second. Within no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimous. Please forward that to full council with that recommendation. All right. Next up, public comment, non-agenda items. Hearing and seeing none. Committee concerns. All right, I'll just have one real quickly, Mr. Duncan, as we were dealing with the fire truck issue. One of the things that the payout on that was actually a little bit higher than what I would have expected, even though because of the amount we paid for it. But one of the things I think we need to consider as we're looking at insurance coverage is in periods of high inflation like we had for a number of years, replacement value being substantially different. So what we're looking at now is a net loss on a vehicle that was only 5 years old that we should have been able to get another 10 or 15 years out of. So I think looking at least on our large equipment purchases like that, maybe reevaluating replacement costs versus depreciated value, et cetera. So that would be one item. The other one would be tied to the same thing is, was that fire truck would have been bonded, correct? So it would have been with fire service bond. Will we have to take a portion of the amount paid to apply to the bond?
Let me double check because I'm not sure how.
Okay. Okay. Good for me.
We'll double check to make sure. Yeah, there's nothing.
That's just as I think through that. I mean, it's a debt to that asset, right? Okay. That's all I have under committee concerns. Do I have any others? Hearing and seeing none, what do I hear on adjournment?
So moved.
I have a motion. I have a
Second.
second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries unanimous. The time is 6:32. Next up is creation. Thank you.
All right, we will call the Recreation Committee meeting to order. This is the fourth committee meeting for this evening. All committee members are present, as well as William Bart, our two directors. First off, is there any public comment? Hearing none. We have reading and approval of minutes. The last time we met was April 6th.
Move that we approve as submitted.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We'll now move on to reports from Mr. Cumlander.
Good evening, Chair, Committee. Couple things. Senior center's going well. Numbers are growing up there as well. Couple activities they're doing next month. Believe it or not, I went to the Greenville Little Theater with my youngest son, and so I saw a lot of seniors up there. And so we are going in September. I don't know what the play is. They've told me, but I'm going. Uh, so we're going to do that.
Credit.
That's the cost of the. Uh, we're asking if you're going to help pay for the gas, and also they'll be paying for their ticket. So it's going to be up to them. We're going to get them up there. We'll get them close. They don't have to drive at night, so they like that. So I think the buses, both buses, and so they're looking forward to that. And that's something we haven't done in a while, doing an evening trip, because a lot of the seniors don't like getting out in the evening. So we're doing that. So they'll come to the senior center, and we'll take them up there and drive them. And we park the buses right up close there, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. So if I'm not on the ball field, I'm gonna probably be going with them. So. Our rec sports are in full swing. We have tackle football, flag football, cheerleading, soccer, softball, and baseball. The parks will be full. We are utilizing all the parks. There's not available space to really move. So you'll have tackle football and flag football. We'll just rotate them, and soccer. So soccer's used on Mondays and Wednesdays, and tackle football will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's 4 or 5 nights a week that, when you're at the grocery store and somebody's saying, "Hey, I can't find a place to park," it's our numbers are growing, and so we add fall is our biggest time of year to have sports, and so that's a good thing. So the sports center is growing. Summer camp ends this week. If you go to that campus on that given day of the week during the summer, it is full because you got college students there. You've got age range of kids from 6 to 12. They're there every day, and the parking lot's full. The numbers are going up. I don't think, you know, Crunch Fitness came in town. I don't think that's affected of us as much because we're pulling from a different crowd, and so that our numbers keep increasing. We're gonna keep on increasing. We gotta get still better. We're doing good, but we're still pushing that. But a lot of the college students will be going back home, and we'll lose some of those kids going back to school next Tuesday. So our camp ends Friday. So we had a really good staff this year, probably the best staff we ever had. I told them that today. They've done an outstanding job with the kiddos, keeping them busy, keeping them active. And, when you drop your kid off, you want them to be safe and staying active. And we've done a good job of doing that. And it's a really, really good staff. And so, any questions? Thank y'all. Have any?
Any questions from the committee?
Full ballparks.
When you said it's up, do you have like a percentage as far as like year over year what we're up for fall?
I did a percentage.
Ballpark's fine. I mean,
Yeah, I think we're up a couple hundred, and a lot of that is just the population. We're getting more folks in town, new houses coming in town, and just the word of mouth. I think Andre and his staff does an excellent job of, I think what we lose sight of in rec sometimes in just dealing with people is sometimes people don't want to get an email. A phone call is always good, and I think we do an excellent job with that. They want that personal touch, knowing that, just having that personal touch of actually talking to somebody. And I think Andre and his staff does an excellent job doing that.
good news, man.
And I think that helps increase the numbers to answer your question.
Thank you.
Good. All right, we don't have any unfinished business, but we have new business. So let's hop right into the senior center survey.
I'm going to let Mr. Stewart do that. He worked on that, and I don't want to steal his glory. He did a good job on it, so I'm going to let him do that. Mr. Stewart.
Wonderful.
Good evening, Chair and Committee. Guess we'll start with the first one. Is the adult sports programming for the Sports Center. And pretty much what we did is we took a survey on everybody we had in our system, Civic Rec, plus emails, plus social media as well. And we surveyed out of emails, about 8,000 people, and on social media as well, and with 72 responses from those. Not a good response, but we did get some responses. So we just take that and we put them into a chart of the age range. And our biggest age range that we saw that we had response from were the 55 plus, which not unusual this time, but it is what it is in this case. And in the 36 to 45, which is the area we're trying to engage, is our second most spot. Going to the slide 2. We polled who was in city and who was non-city residents at this point. It's about even. 54% were city residents, 46 were non-residents. And then we took the interest of every person that we polled to see which sports they would like to see the Sports Center trying to interact with the community. It's about even all the way around. I say with the pie the way it is, it's kind of split pretty evenly. But softball came back as one of the ones that everybody would like to see. Pickleball is another one. Basketball is another one that's pretty good. But in all, the community wants us to put out more activities for adults. And then we asked what kind of format would they like to play? Would it be leisure or competitive? Most everybody chose leisure, which is nothing different there. They just want to kind of get out and get active into the community. And then which style would they prefer? Would it league style, tournament style, or pickup style? Most chose league style, and I think that's because it's more organized. League style is more organized compared to tournament style or pickup style. Pickup style is just kind of come together and roll the ball out and everybody plays. League style is kind of organized by the staff to kind of gear towards a season's league with games on certain nights. And then to start off for our adult season, we wanted to bring back, so we started off with 3-on-3 basketball as one, and also softball is another one. So those registrations are going on right now. We've had interest, and hopefully we have enough to have those leagues this fall. But we are gearing towards our next sport as well, which would be pickleball. We'll try a pickleball league to see if we can gain even more interest from the community as playing as well. So if you know anybody that wants to play softball or basketball, call Rihanna. She's our new adult programmer, and she can definitely get you paired up and ready to go.
Mr. Duncan?
Willie, one quick question. If someone's interested in playing softball, but they don't have a team, how would you
So
let them know approach?
they would go through the same process. We do have a free agent pool.
Okay.
And so what we would do is we'll compile those free agents and hopefully have enough to place on the team. If not, we would try to pair them with somebody that has a team that wouldn't mind having an extra player.
Okay.
But that's pretty much the same thing. They'll pay an individual fee to play as a single person.
That might be something worth putting out there too, because that was my first question. Is like, I don't have a team. Me and Greg can't fill 11 spots. So, okay, just wanted to see how we could do that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Before we move on to the senior center, does committee have any questions about the sports center?
I think the only thing I would, in thinking through moving forward on anything new like this, is trying to, you'll get people who are very involved and trying to recruit those to have some buy-in as well within the league. So that it doesn't all fall on Willie or Andre or Mr. Cumlander or all of those. So I think that'll be an important part of trying to figure out what that new thing looks like, be it pickleball or softball or whatever, when you start coordinating for a league of some sort. So be looking for those people who can
kind of help push that along.
Take some off of you.
Gotcha. I definitely
That's
understand.
all I would encourage. Thank you.
My initial question is, looking at the survey, we have the age ranges, and you made a comment that 36 to 45 is where you're hoping to engage more in. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, I say just like we do the sports center or anything else, we're trying. That's the hardest age range for us to kind of get into that area. We can get the seniors, we can get the kids, but that middle age range is where we have trouble getting those families to either be a member at Sports Center or engage in a sport like adult sport as well.
Okay. And if you were to look at, so this, the age range is what was indicative of the 72 responses from the survey. Does that match pretty closely with what you see in terms of, let's just use membership of the sports center?
Yes, it's about equal.
Not equal?
Yeah.
Okay. And I assume there was no surprise between the city residents and non-residents. That's
Nah, yeah, it's a split there. It's always been a split. 'Cause just the city of Mauldin itself touches so much, so we know it's gonna be a split.
And then when it looks like the adult sports leagues that interest you, when you posed the question in the survey, were these all of the sports that were listed or were there additional ones? And was there an option to add?
So there was an option to add, but these are the ones that were listed on the sheet, and then there was a other. Nobody really posted anything on the other. They kind of went for what was already on the
Okay.
board.
I do find it a little bit interesting. Um, it's not exactly like against one another, but the fact that leisure was 68% versus 32% competitive, and then when you ask, they say, "Well, give us a league."
Correct. Yeah.
But then again, it's still league rec. It's not
Correct. And we used to have when we have adult basketball. When I first got here, 5-on-5, we had a competitive league and a recreational league, and the competitive league was more intense. Both were competitive, but you had a competitive league which was more intense, and then you had a recreational league was kind of more laid back. They still wanted the same things. They wanted to play the games. They wanted the whistles, all the bells and whistles. They just didn't want it to count. I mean, I can say count. They didn't want it as much as intense as the other one.
More intense
More
is an
intense, yes.
understatement also. The whole basketball league.
I played in that one year,
Yeah.
and it was only 1 year.
You're more of a rec guy, huh?
Well, what we did is we took some of the guys from the church team and we came out here and played because we wanted to extend our season, basically, right? Because it was being held over the spring way back when. Yeah, that was competitive. I don't know if we thought it was going to be as competitive as it ended up being.
Yeah.
But I digress. All right, let's move on to senior center.
Right. So the senior center survey here is the program, and then pretty much we're gauging pretty much non-city residents here. So we're really tackling just the non-city residents. And we polled at about the non-city residents that we have at the senior center right now. Those are the ones that we polled. It's about 1,087. And we got 78 responses from that, which once again is not a lot, but in this aspect is still pretty good, pretty decent. We kind of engage a little bit more off what we saw. And that's out of 4,000, about 4,000 senior center members in total. The age range, age group for this age group for the senior center is the majority of 70 to 79. So we swing the 70 to 79, and then the 60 to 69 are your 37%. Our lowest age range is the 55 to 59, which are your younger seniors. But that's just kind of what you see at the senior center already. And we polled how long have they been coming to the senior center. 0 to 1 years, you got 33%, 2 to 3 years, 32%, 4 to 5 years, you got 17, and then 6+ is 18%. And totally, that's not a bad pie there. You see you have some that's been here for a long time, and we're starting to get new members now as well. Then we ask, how often do you come to the senior center? A majority of them, 63% of them, said they come weekly. So that may be once, twice in a week, maybe 3 times during the week. 15% say monthly, so they may show up every couple of days in a month. And then you have the 12%, which are that rarely come, but you may see them probably on special occasions, holidays, or if something's important going on at the senior center, they'll be there as well. And then you have the 10% for daily, which they come every day, for the most part, every day, every week. And then you ask which activities do the seniors participate in the most at the senior center? And once again, this pie, I think we have a big chunk out of the cardio fitness classes, but in totality, everything looks like it's got a piece. We have seniors coming to do a little bit of everything, which is arts and crafts, educational workshops, day trips, social events. They all come to participate in something. Then we asked the question of where are you traveling from to come to the senior center? 41% said Simpsonville. They're coming from Simpsonville, South Carolina. 33% said they're coming from Greenville. 22% come from Greenville County, and then you have about 4% that come from outside of Greenville County, like the Spartanburg area or the Lawrence area, just depending on where they're coming from. And then asking the question, would they recommend this to their friends? And 100% were full force of recommendation to coming to the senior center. These two surveys were part of pretty much our master plan, doing a deep dive into what the senior population who's coming to the senior center, and the other half of what adult sports that we could bring adult sports back to the sports center.
Does committee have any questions regarding the senior center? No. I have a few. So same thing. I imagine the age groups pretty much align with what you see.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's awesome that we've got 63% coming weekly. Something to consider if you were to run a survey again back to the sports centers to ask that same question to the sports center folks. Be interested to know, like, you probably already have that statistic actually, because they swipe every time.
Swipe every time. Yeah, we can just pull out the check-ins.
So ignore that suggestion. Then we asked the question, what location are you traveling from to visit the Mauldin Senior Center? I assume we didn't have Mauldin on the list.
So this was just non-residents only. So we didn't put Mauldin residents on this survey at all. So just anybody that lived outside the zip code of Mauldin.
Okay.
Can I ask I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nope.
Can I ask the thought process on that?
Well, we're gauging towards the whole thing. Pretty much what the master plan is to see financially, because they're not city residents, do we need to charge those participants that don't pay city taxes to actually come into the senior center compared to the ones that already live in the city that do come in and use these activities? Okay. And that was kind of the gauge.
Okay. The last time we met, which was back in April, that was one of the things that was discussed, was whether or not we should charge a fee. I think it's what prompted this to begin with. So it definitely shows that there's a lot of non-city folks using our facilities. And we still have to go back to that question eventually, whether or not it makes sense to charge them. I did have another question on the educational workshops. What is an educational workshop?
We have between retirement, I want to say retirement. Yes, retirement. They have classes. They have workshops, just classes just for educational purpose of retirement. Seniors that are getting to the age where they have to live in assisted living. We had one with the police. They had say it again.
Tax
prep. Yeah, we do the tax preparation for the season. It's all different kinds. Just preparing the seniors for life as a senior at a certain age, to keep them on their toes and to give them the information they need to live at that point.
Okay. Very, very cool. My last just kind of feedback. If we were to look at the seniors, well, Mr. Cumberlander mentioned before about going to the theater, right? And so that is something where it's an activity that you're going out and you're doing. I think when we go back to the sports offering that we have, is to look at those individual type of sports. Pickleball is a perfect example of that. I mean, you got 15%, which is your second highest from that survey, to where it is almost an individual game. It's usually, it's a duo typically. Right. You can play it singles. But the rise in those types of activities where it is more leisure, going back to also stuff that you saw in here. So things like ultimate frisbee, the disc golf, those types of things, the pickleball, those are the things that I think that sweet spot that you're trying to hit, being that that middle-aged, I guess is probably what we should call it, person where they're already dealing with their kids, right? So they got kids who are probably doing either rec sports here or the lovely CISA complex, way across there. Yeah. I have my own thoughts about CISA, which I should not get into. But I think that's where a lot of the adults at that age group is looking at what is something that I can invest some time in, but it's not going to be quite so structured as I have to go find an entire 11 squad team to play softball, right? So just what are those things, those activities that they could be a part of? So continue to explore that. But overall, I think this was good information, particularly on the senior center, as I imagine next month we'll probably revisit whether or not we need to charge a fee.
Yes.
Any other further comments, questions, or concerns?
Percent recommendation. Talk about that.
100, well,
Not just a figure of speech, literally 100% of the people.
100%. That is awesome.
Well, and a testament to staff all the way up. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
All good numbers.
Are you going to handle item B as well? You handing it back to?
I'm gonna hand that back to Gregory.
All right.
He got that one.
He served his time. Yeah.
Good deal. Thank you, Willie.
Don't steal your thunder. Come on.
All right, this is the Rock and Roll Express. All right. So to tell you a little bit about the grant we're trying to get, Sunset Park was built in 1999. Its sewer was not available on Fowler Road at the time. So it is on a septic tank out there. I think you have 2 septic tanks. The wagon wheel, if you're familiar with Sunset, the wagon wheel is around the baseball field. Wastewater goes down to the septic tank and holds it, and then eventually has to be pumped. Some of the issues of me being out there and we have a big event is we have to improvise some stuff to put over the manhole, and so that retains some of the smell. And so, not to get into too graphic with you, but this is a grant that I think Seth and Gregory found and brought to us, and staff's been working on it, and now it's Gregory's turn.
Good evening, committee. What we are requesting tonight is approval to apply for the 2026 South Carolina Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Undiscovered Grant. In conjunction with the application, staff is also seeking authorization to allocate city funding to fulfill the required matching portion of the grant, which is a 50-50. Approval of this request will enable the city to pursue external funding opportunities that support local park improvements and recreational infrastructure. We came to you last year with the same request, and we were given the green light to go and to apply. We applied. We did not get it. However, when I called, because I like to know if we don't get things, why? What could we do better for next year? And so what the staff informed me was the fact that we scored high, they just ran out of funding. So we want to try it again. We're going to keep knocking on their door till they tell us yes. And so that is the request this evening. One of the questions that did come up internally as far as it, if we apply, we get the funding, when can we use it? Per the grant, we can choose which quarter we want to start the project. So even though right now we may not have funded in our budget for the match, we can tell them what quarter we want to start, and then as we go through the next budget process, we can implement and have those funds available, so that way we can get the project started.
Very good. Any initial questions, or is there any?
Jason. I have kind of an adjacent question, because one of the things you talk about is, connecting the other 17 acres over there. And I know we just got done hearing about how full the parks are and things like that. But where are we in the process of, at least as far as I know, haven't really started talking about what we're going to do or how we're going to expand over there, other than, I saw a presentation a while ago now. I don't know, it wasn't last week, and it wasn't 3 years ago. About what the plan is there, but
Still working on the plan.
Yeah.
It all comes down to funding.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
So,
I
you know,
understand that.
this year we were tackling one of the biggest needs out at Sunset Park, which are the lights. And so that was the primary focus. We've got a few interested suitors who might want to do something in conjunction with what we need to do out there, but no one is ready to push forward just yet. So while we've we know that we have a need out there, we've talked about even with Matthew Fleeman, our public works director who oversees the parks, about phasing and doing something. We just continue to debate it internally because one, the funding is just there's no money for it. But two, also just trying to figure out what's the right need to bring to council to say, hey, this is what we think is the plan, and still looking for that private sector partner. And we have a couple who are somewhat interested, but money talks more than words. We're just not there yet, but it still stays top of mind of something that we're trying to work on.
Are there other grants like this that we could go after or things that are?
So the big one is probably the LWCF. Is it LWCF? No, what's the rural water? Not water. Land Water Conservation Fund. So LWCF is probably the biggest one that could help out. But we're just not there yet to apply for that. So, but that could, I believe, I need to double check. But last time, I think it can get us about half of what we're looking to do for Sunset Phase 2. But yeah, we need to look into that some more.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to forward to full council with a recommendation of approval allowing staff to apply for the 2026 South Carolina Parks and Recreation and Tourism Undiscovered Grant Fund in conjunction with it also authorizing to allocate city funding to fulfill the required matching portion of the grant.
Second.
All right, we had a motion to forward to full council the SCPRT undiscovered grant in a second. Any further discussion?
Just one comment.
Yes.
You've got enough time to get it going. August 27th, is that when you had to have it in? You'll be able to get everything in and rolling?
Yes. Then we've got two things that we have to get left, and one would be you all for a council meeting. There's a resolution that will be read that you all have to approve.
That's what I was getting at. Okay.
And then, but we'll still have time to get that in.
Perfect.
Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. And that is the last item on the under new business. Any public comments? Hearing none, seeing none. Any committee concerns? Hearing none, seeing none. What is the pleasure of council?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:01. And special call next.
Don't go anywhere.
One, two,
Big money.
three. Yep, that was the last one.
Yeah. Well, I thought we might have. I thought we did have.
Well,
Putting off the vibe.
Cash is on the table with Carolina. Carolina
You are.
All right, calling this special call meeting August 3rd to order 7:03 PM. Everyone is here that needs to be here. Welcome. Since it is July, I have the invocation and the pledge, so I invite anybody who wants to join me.
Be August.
Oh, it is August. It is August. Right, thank you.
But you can pray if you want to.
So, Miss King, it's all you.
Okay.
You wasn't gonna get cheated.
Thank you. All those who wish to pray, please bow with me at this time. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together this evening. We ask for your guidance with our thoughts and our words as we enter into our special call meeting tonight. As always, we are thankful for the many blessings that you bestow upon us. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Stand for the pledge.
Public stand. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
With the mayor not with us tonight, I know that he would want to have the motion done with the, to go into committee of the whole using the informal method. So do we have that motion as we prepare for second reading on the 1% sales tax referendum?
Motion to enter into committee of the whole by informal method to discuss the ordinance for the 1% tax referendum on second reading.
Thank you, Ms. King. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second from Mr. Reynolds. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and we are in committee of the whole. That's going to bring us to ordinances on second reading, the 1% sales tax referendum ordinance. Mr. Duncan, do you want to get into that?
Yes, sir. Happy to, sir. So tonight we have second reading of an ordinance that would, let me get to the right page here, sir. Here we go. So, yes, sir. Tonight we have for council consideration second reading of an ordinance related to the Municipal Tax Relief Act, which was a new act that was passed earlier this year that allows for the imposition of a 1% sales tax within the municipality for property tax relief and infrastructure improvements. The act is modeled after similar countywide optional sales tax programs and must be approved by referendum. Tonight's action is not final action, but rather, bless you, but rather presents this as a ballot initiative in this November's ballot. So just kind of give you a quick overview. The Municipal Tax Relief Act imposes a 1% sales and use tax within the municipality for property tax relief and specialized infrastructure improvements. No less than 20% of the funds generated must be used to provide a credit against taxpayers' municipal ad valorem taxes, and the rest towards projects within the city. These types of projects includes highways, roads, streets, bridges, public parking lots, public parking garages, core local government services and related facilities, administrative buildings, civic centers, police stations, fire stations, and any combination of projects described above. The maximum time frame that could be adopted, it may be adopted in 2-year increments, but not to exceed 8 years. And if enacted, the 1% sales tax would begin being imposed May 1st in 2027 and expire April 30th of the years after it's adopted if we did the full term. Tonight would be second reading. If council approves the second reading, it will be transmitted. The information will be transmitted to the county, who will then put it on the ballot this November. Provided in the packet includes updated information from previous questions, including that the Department of Revenue will assess a 1% collection fee. The city is projecting at this point in time to generate about $24.5 million over 8 years, with 4.9 million or just under 5 million going towards property tax relief and 19.6 million going towards capital projects. The referendum language as currently drafted includes 15.6 million for the repaving and improving of roadways and 4 million for Fire Station 5. The specific language regarding the roadways actually says city road infrastructure improvements, including repaving, drainage systems, curbs, and sidewalks. We've also begun the work of looking to see which one of the roads that we've listed in the packet, we also may need corresponding stormwater improvements and matching those up to see which projects we could get some additional improvements out of and just not just roadway improvements alone. And with that, I believe that's about all of it. Oh, also one other thing that we included in here was the bonding language, which basically says that council has the opportunity in a single tranche or multiple tranches to bond out the 15.6 million of the potential collection or the expected collection of 19.6 for the projects, of which if council decided to move on without the bonding language and just did a simple pay-go, then we would just remove those highlighted sections at council's direction. But that's the overview of the business before us tonight, sir.
All right. Questions for Mr. Duncan? Do we have, okay, go ahead.
Well, I can say it. So, discussion.
Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Crowley.
And I apologize for not reading up the latest, but what's the county doing now? There's
County approved third reading in July of their 1% sales tax.
so it'll be on there as well.
The referendum, yes, will be on the ballot this November.
Lord.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Do we have a motion?
I can make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor,
Sure.
Pro Tem, I
Go
should
ahead.
say. Thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve on second reading the Municipal Tax Relief Act Sales Tax Referendum as stated in your packet with all the included language and bond language, as well as the amounts and projects listed within.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion. Mr. Allgood.
Hey, I was trying to look it up real quick just to see, and Mr. Duncan, you may not know, compared to our neighbor that way, being the bigger neighbor, Greenville, when it comes to sales tax currently, if I were to shop there, would I be paying more sales tax in the city of Greenville than I would be in the city of Mauldin?
I'm not sure. I think currently they're the same, but I could be incorrect about that. I'm not as familiar.
I couldn't remember.
Currently, they're the same.
They are the same? Okay. And the same would be true in Simpsonville, we believe,
Currently.
currently?
Yeah, because there's no county optional sales tax, and we don't have any other sales taxing authority.
So hospitality,
Yeah, and they both have hospitality taxes and accommodations taxes.
so everything is a playing level there. All right, that was my initial question for Mr. Duncan.
Additional discussion. Mr. Steenbeck.
I know my comments got into the record, although unfortunately wasn't going to be here. I've thought more about it. I do agree with Mr. Krayling's assessment that this is a fascinating way to pass a tax and tell us it's not. I think that's kind of lame, honestly. Not that that's a indictment on anyone here, but I just find it fascinating that that's how we've decided to do it. And secondly, I think the thing to keep in mind, not that anyone's here, but I mean, I guess just to say publicly is the roads that are still the biggest problems aren't even going to get dealt with this. Like that's frustrating. It's frustrating. At the end of the day, I have no problem giving the citizens of Mauldin the opportunity to decide what they want to do with this. I'm very thankful to the city. We're putting up, the project list and making sure we're as clear as possible about what it is that the money will be going towards. So, I'm not concerned that people will be ill-informed if they don't, if they want to be informed, they'll have the information available to them. But I would strongly encourage whoever might be listening or whoever reads this or whatever that's a citizen to make sure that they're fully informed when it comes to voting for this thing.
Mr. Allgood.
I'd like to ask For a clarifying question, you just said that the roads that need work are not on the list, or are
The,
there
the roads that people complain about the most are not on the list.
because they are not city roads?
Right, they're not city roads, right? I mean, that's the reason why. I mean, again, it's not the city's fault necessarily, but at the end of the day, the complaints we hear about the most and the issues we have the most, the roads we have the most issues with are still going to be the roads we have the most issues with.
Okay.
And that, I just want to make sure that everybody's clear about that and that's,
Yeah,
that's out there for the public to understand is like, you're going to vote for a penny tax and it's basically going to be mainly neighborhood roads and cul-de-sacs that are dealt with.
Yeah.
Which is not, I mean, again, good. We're going to deal with those if that's what they want. But they're not going to vote for the penny tax and Ashmore Bridge and Butler and bridges. All of a sudden they're going to be, smooth as a baby's butt.
Thank you. I just wanted to clarify, make sure that we weren't missing roads that were city roads that need to be on there.
No, well, again, we already have a process for identifying those, so I'm confident that
Yeah.
we'll get the roads that need it the most.
I
They're only the ones that we can address.
I think quite the opposite. We're
Hold on one second. Mr. Reynolds, Ms.
Mr.
King
Chair.
had her hand up.
Thank you. I just wanted to echo what Mr. Steenbeck had to say, and I appreciate you making the statement that you're willing to let our voters, our residents, that you'll support letting them vote on this, as it is a referendum. And I can't express enough to our residents, this is not this council stating that we are for or against this referendum. We're stating that we want to allow our residents the opportunity to vote. Yes, the county passed on third reading their penny tax. Once again, I think it's the third or fourth time. It's failed every time. But once again, it's going to be on the ballot for all voters to vote on. I think it's also important for our residents, as Mr. Steenbeck alluded to, they need to educate themselves. There's plenty of information out there. We've been very transparent on the city level. However, if we approve this on second reading tonight, which I obviously have supported, and to let our residents make that decision, the county will also have a I think it's a transportation tax, which is separate from what we would be passing. So theoretically, if both referendums were to pass, you would have an additional 2%. You'd have a county and the city. But as we all know, it would be imposed on everyone coming into our city for H&A purposes, shopping and otherwise. So just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of what the county did and what that looks like in the full picture. But this is just one avenue that we can address the problems that we have within the city if that's what our voters so choose to vote on. Thank you.
Mr. Reynolds, back to you.
Thank you. No, I was just going to point out that Mr. Steenbeck's point is right. It doesn't address the roads that we probably all want to check off the box, but it addresses the ones that do have bad scores now currently that we are responsible for, whether or not this passes or not. I mean, at this point, if it makes it onto the ballot and it fails, those roads will still need paved at some point, and we'll still be looking for funding mechanisms to do it. So I think as we do press through this, being very cognizant of both of y'all's point is this is giving the citizens specifically the opportunity. Is this the funding mechanism we want to do to deal with this specific thing? So, but I completely agree with you. It's frustrating that we can look and say, okay, we can do our part, but we're still going to get blamed for a lot of others. And that is very, very frustrating. And frankly, it's a little frustrating that Greenville County jumped into the same boat where this was a tool that the state legislators put forth to help municipalities fund things like roads, which are completely underfunded at the state level and the county level. We all know, I'm sure Mayor Merritt would, as much as hard work as he does with that, we're severely underfunded. The couple $100,000 a year they give us to fund our 80-something miles of road is laughable at best. So what you've seen this council do in the past, I mean, even before 3 and 4 and 5 years ago, is bond out, trying to get ahead of the roads that are what we consider an asset to the city, and try to stay on top of them, and even using funding from surplus, from being good fiscal stewards and applying that. So I hope that the message will be very much that, is that even though we have made it a priority in several ways in the past, in the very recent past, it's still severely underfunded, and it's still going to be an issue 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years from now. And I think that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Any other discussion? All right, hearing none, we have a motion and a second. So all in favor of approving the ordinance on second reading, say aye.
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 All opposed?
Nope.
And the ayes have it. And council has adopted the ordinance on second reading. That's going to take us to new business with standing committee items, with a resolution authorizing a lease purchase agreement for vehicles and equipment coming out of finance. Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve the resolution for the 2027 lease and purchase agreement as forwarded from committee with a recommendation of approval. It's in your packet, with South State Bank being the lessor, yeah. With all that information in your packet.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Reynolds. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there a discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. We do not have executive session this evening, so that moves us to our final piece of business.
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it, and we are adjourned at 7:20 PM.